श्रीमद् भागवतम की। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, Son of Dronopanish, Text 6. Anarthapasamam sakshat bhakti yogam madhokshaje lokasya janato vidvams chakre sattvata samhitam. Anarthopasamam sakshat bhakti yogam adhokshaje lokasya janato vidvans chakre sattvata samhitam. Anartha, things which are superfluous. Upasamam, mitigation. Sakyat, directly. Bhakti yogam, the linking process of devotional service. Adhokshaje, unto the transcendence. Lokasya, of the general mass of man. Ajnanataha, ajanataha, those who are unaware of. Vidwan, supremely learned. Chakra, compiled. Sattvata, in relation with the Supreme Lord. Samhitam, Vedic literature. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. The material miseries of the living entity, which are superfluous to him, can be directly mitigated by the linking process of devotional service. But the mass of people do not know this. Therefore, the learned Vyasadeva compiled this Vedic literature, which is in relation to the Supreme Truth. Hare Krishna. And the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, Srila Vyasadeva saw the all-perfect personality of Godhead. The statement suggests that complete unity of Krishna includes his part and parcel also. He saw therefore his different energies, namely the internal energy, the marginal energy, and external energy. He also saw his different plenary portions and parts of plenary portions, namely his different incarnations also. He specifically observed the unwanted miseries of the conditioned souls who are bewildered by the external energy. At last he saw the remedial measure for the conditioned souls, namely the process of devotional service. It is a great transcendental science and begins with the process of hearing and chanting the holy name, fame, glory, etc. of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Revival of the dormant affection of the love of Godhead does not depend on the mechanical system of hearing and chanting, but it solely and wholly depends on the causeless mercy of the Lord. When the Lord is fully satisfied with the sincere effort of the devotee, he may endow him with his loving transcendental service. But even with the prescribed form of hearing and chanting, there is at once mitigation of superfluous and unwanted miseries of material existence. Such mitigational knowledge, such mitigation of material affection does not wait for development of transcendental knowledge. Rather, knowledge is dependent in devotional service for the ultimate realization of this supreme truth. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Pasyate Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dear devotees, as I was telling during the chanting session, we can hear Krishna, we can hear our mind. Krishna says, chant my holy name. Mind says, please me. Krishna says, please me. Mind says, please me. So, if you have allowed mind unconquered during the time of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then there will be one of the hatimata aparadha, where this hatimata aparadha means that we are supposed to chant in peaceful situation, hearing every word of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this process, I'm not saying that you can be fully absorbed because we are not pure soul. But endeavor must be there to chant properly. If that endeavor is not there, then there will be hatimata aparadha, because we are chanting, but we are neglectfully chanting. So should we hear Krishna? Should we hear our mind? The decision is yours. I do not want any noise here. There is a lot of noise in the kitchen. Oh, very wonderful discussion going on in Bhagavatam. Vyasadeva is in trance on the bank of river Saraswati. In that trance, he is seeing Krishna. Just like when Brahma saw Krishna, he didn't see him alone, helpless. Brahma saw Krishna, Krishna's thousands of Narayana expansions. Each Narayana expansion was worshipped by millions and trillions of devotees headed by demigods, including material elements, Vedas, Upanishads. And Brahmaji saw literally each Narayana is in factual are one universe. That means Brahmaji saw thousands of universes with presiding deity, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and he is being worshipped by the entirety of the universe. Similarly, here, Vyasadeva is seeing Krishna as his, not alone, he is seeing Krishna, his unlimited expansions, his incarnations, the spiritual sky, material sky, spiritual energy, material energy, internal energy and external energy, and jivas liberated and conditioned. He is able to see that how the jivas are struggling with three modes of material nature and suffering. Although the suffering of the jivas are superfluous, artificial hallucination from the perspective of transcendence, but Vyasadeva saw the mitigation of these suffering through devotional service, linking everything to Krishna through devotional service. The very material energy which causes us bondage, same very material energy, when used in Krishna's service, can liberate us. So he saw all these things in detail. How did he see? Exactly that has come out in Srimad Bhagavatam. So his trance, the way he saw, has manifested in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. The suffering of the Pandavas, but then that is not suffering. Because although externally it may be appearing it is suffering, but Pandavas released their dependence on Krishna in every such wonderful situation. This is what Vyasadeva saw. Vyasadeva saw Maharaj Parikshit was suffering because of the curse of Srungi. But being a pure devotee, he converted that as an opportunity. For a devotee, no situation can be difficult. And Vyasadeva saw that how Maharaj Parikshit converted the most difficult situation into an opportunity, and hence heard the entirety of Srimad Bhagavatam that is being seen directly by Vyasadeva in his trance. Vyasadeva is seeing this. Vyasadeva also is seeing that how Krishna creates this universe, how Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu expands himself or Mahavishnu expands himself to every universe, and there Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, the primeval Narayana, manifests primeval water, and that water is the cause of variegatedness within this universe. The manifestation of material elements, and how all these elements that are manifested are constantly worshipping Krishna. That is why the material elements, Maya Devi, 3 modes of material nature, the 33 crore demigods, all of them, they are engaged in devotional service to Krishna. So anybody who takes up devotional service automatically becomes liberated from material bondage. Vyasadeva saw that. Vyasadeva saw that how the scientific linking of this material world is done to the spiritual world. Material world to spiritual world. How scientific linking is done. So that Vyasadeva saw, and this vision manifested in 3rd canto through Bhagavad Sankhya. In 4th canto, his vision, that vision of him manifested in the form of determination to achieve or to please Krishna. And Dhruva Maharaj did it. So you see all this that you see in entirety of Bhagavatam, he saw in trance. Whether Prithu converting this entire earthly planet into an earthly planet cultivable and engaging everyone in pleasing and glorifying Krishna. He saw that. He must have seen the pastimes of Rishabdev, Maharaj Bharat, the discourse on Vedic cosmology, descent of Ganga. So all this information has come in his trance. He must have seen how Chitraketu was cursed by Mother Parvati, and it looked like he would suffer in the body of a demon, Vritrasura, but Vritrasura was fully cognizant of Krishna consciousness. So this particular thing demonstrated that Krishna consciousness is not lost, even if you get the body of a demon. If you practice Krishna consciousness is permanent, eternal. It cannot be lost. It cannot be lost, even in the body of Vritrasura, and for which Indra has to pay a heavy price, because he killed Vritrasura with a weapon made from the bone of the Dadichi. In that trance, Vyasadeva must have seen the Dakya and his ill treatment of Lord Shiva and the consequence of Vaishnava aparadha and offense to devotees of Krishna is unforgivable. He must have seen in that trance the beautiful pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj, born in a Daitya family, but who had the guts to reject the atheistic philosophy of his own father. And for that, although he has to undergo severe torture by his father, but he saw in trance, Vyasadeva saw in trance that Prahlad Maharaj was situated in complete trance and peace within. He was not disturbed by great disturbance caused by his father and his associate to kill Prahlad Maharaj, to do all kind of problems for Prahlad Maharaj, but his spiritual intelligence could not be broken. His spiritual intelligence could not be shaken. He saw that. He must have seen the beautiful pastimes of Ambarisha Maharaja, and he performed Navada Bhakti altogether. It is very rare to practice all 9 processes of devotional service. But although he was a king, he was the emperor, he could perform all 9. We have seen Prahlad only doing Smaranam, Parikit only doing Sravanam. We have seen Sukadeva Maharaj doing only Kirtanam, Prithu Maharaj doing Archanam. We have seen Hanuman and others doing Dashyam. But here he saw that how there are some living entities like Ambarisha Maharaj can be empowered to perform all 9 processes of devotional service. He saw that in his trance. He saw how an offense to such a Vaishnava can cause devastating consequence, as Durvasa faced the wrath of Sudarshan Chakra until he was saved by the very wonderful devotee Ambarisha Maharaja, who didn't take at all any offense against Durvasa Maharaj, Durvasa Muni. Bali Maharaj must have seen the episode of Ayati, how even if we are powerful king, we suffer from the material desire to enjoy sex and become victim. This particular event that he has seen You see that he's in Trikalagya. He's seeing everything in a trance. Just like you see in a dream. The dream may look like within material time, 1 hour or half an hour dream. But the dream, your experience, your experiential time can be many yugas, many yugas. And here in trance, the trance may be, I don't know whether Vyasadeva was in trance for a week, for a month, for a year, I don't know. But it cannot be more than that. And in that trance, he is seeing everything that you see, 18,000 verses, even more. Because whatever you see, you may not put them exactly. Everything you may not put in entirety. So everything that is there in Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva saw. So, but he must have seen even more. And that's 100% true. You cannot, whatever I see in trance, I may not put them into writing. So only that much Vyasadeva has written for us, which is essential for us. I'm pretty sure he must have seen much more, like, he has depicted the way Vamandev expanded his legs. He has seen it. Without seeing, he won't write it. How he cheated Bali Maharaj, just saying, I will take 3 steps of land. And the most beautiful aspect of his trance must be the Brajalila of Krishna, Krishna's Mathura Lila, Krishna's Dwaraka Lila, Mahabharata, all these wonderful things that finally he has seen and depicted in Bhagavatam. Some people say how Vyasadeva compiled or saw Krishna. Vyasadeva saw Krishna as he has depicted in Srimad Bhagavatam. My dear friends, that's it. When you want to write something, you contemplate, you within your consciousness, within your mind, within your intelligence, everything is there. And then you have pen and paper, you start writing, my dear friend. Similarly, in this trance, Vyasadeva has seen everything, and that 18,000 verses that we have in Srimad Bhagavatam, and much more he has seen in trance. But for us, he left just these 18,000 verses. That's it. So you may be asking, so here, from our lamentation point of view, Chitraketu's lamentation of not having a child and finally having a child and learning the lessons of life, how conditioned soul is suffering. The story of Puranjana, how conditioned soul is suffering. Right? The activities of the demons, Hiranyakasipu, or the Asuras, Devasura Sangrama, how Bali Maharaj put everyone into the prison. That pastime showed anybody within this material world who performs severe austerity becomes very powerful. Demigods, although especially blessed, they were captured by demons headed by Bali Maharaj because they were doing sense gratification. Anyone does sense gratification ought to become weaker and weakest. That's the only conclusion you can have. So, the sum total of Bhagavatam in that trance has manifested. In which order that manifested, only Vyasadeva can explain. But finally, he has put it in the book form. That is Amala Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam. So you may be wondering what Vyasadeva saw. What Vyasadeva saw? That is there in Bhagavatam. Of course, he must have seen more. I don't doubt. Nobody should doubt about it. But at least whatever there in Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses, he saw everything. That means in this Bhagavatam, topics about the absolute truth, topics about jiva, topics about material nature, topics about relationship with jiva, with Krishna in various rasa, everything is there. And they were all manifested within the consciousness of Vyasadeva. And that period of trance for Vyasadeva. And then from that period to compiling this literature must be a journey of joy for Vyasadeva. And his journey we are traversing by reading this wonderful literature called Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Vyasadeva ki jai. Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bo. Any question? Did Vyasadeva compile Srimad Bhagavatam before the discussion of the sages in Naimisaranya? Yes. Yes. Is it that the entire discussion is already recorded even before the discussion actually took place? Is it that the entire discussion is already recorded even before the discussion actually took place? From the perspective of eternity, Vyasadeva in his trance, he is beyond time and space. So we are conditioned to past, present, and future. So we are confused. For Vyasadeva, it's a flow of event. Things came into his trance. That trance was compiled by Vyasadeva and then taught to Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami spoke to Parikshit Maharaj. This is heard by Sutta Goswami, re-narrated to sages of Naimisaranya. So that re-narration, Vyasadeva is writing. So you conceive in trance, you bring it out, you give to someone, he churns the nectar is further churned in Naimisaranya. So that means when as a farmer you get an idea how to sow seed, and then grow it. Then you teach a farmer. One farmer harvests it. And then second farmer learns from it, again harvests it. When that becomes successful, this is presented to the world. So Vyasadeva could have presented his own trance as it is in the beginning, but he didn't do that. His trance, he took it, made it churned by Sukadeva Goswami, and again further made it to be churned by Sutta Goswami. And that is what he put in his book. Next. Amrit Panda, although I am chanting and endeavoring to hear every word, but it always seems that I could have put more effort which I didn't exercise. What to do? You have to endeavor. You have to cry to Krishna, oh Krishna, this time is yours. I, Amrit Panda, have taken trillions of births, and I do not want to be born as a hog, or an ant, or a dog, or a camel, or a donkey. Please help me to chant your name attentively. Constant prayer is necessary. And throughout the day, if you are not Krishna conscious, obviously the morning will not be as Krishna conscious as you are expecting. Next. You have said that Krishna is constitutionally unknowable. Then why he conceals himself to the faithless by Yogamaya? Because the atheist, if they realize that everything is done by Krishna, then they would suffer like anything. Atheists, they feel very happy when they feel they are the doer, they are the actor. Like when one becomes a devotee, he realizes Krishna is the actor and he feels very happy. When you get into an adverse situation, you realize Krishna is teaching me through this adverse situation something. You happily accept it. So that is the way devotees deal with Krishna consciousness and Krishna conscious situations. Whereas a demon, an atheist, he cannot tolerate to learn that everything is done by Krishna. He wants everything is there for the pleasure of Krishna. An atheist cannot accept it. And if that sense, that memory is given to atheist, then he will be more violent. So an atheist becomes peaceful when he feels he is the actor. If atheists are not peaceful, then this world will be destroyed in no time. So Krishna has his own way to make the atheist peaceful. Now, in this world, there are atheists. The Chinese government consists of all atheists. If they become unpeaceful, the world war will not take any much time. If world war is not happening in a mass scale, it is because by Krishna's arrangement, All these atheists are peaceful. If they're not peaceful, then they can create havoc. So please practice Krishna consciousness sincerely, at least for 10,000 years. Everybody can chant their way back to Godhead. Next. I think I will take one more question and then I'll stop. You told last chanting session that we should be preparing before chanting so that the mind don't talk much. How should we prepare before chanting? Before chanting, you must make sure how you have gone to bed. Did you read Krishna book? Did you some introspection before going to bed? Did you take enough shelter of Krishna? Okay. So all those, basically your whole daily schedule should be Krishna conscious. Without that, chanting will not be good. You cannot say, you chant for 2 hours and whole day you are sleeping. You can chant nicely. No. The more service you do throughout the day, better chanting you will do in the morning. More eager you are to do this service for Krishna, better chanting you will have. Okay, I think we should stop here. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow again, morning, 6:30, with all of you. Hare Krishna. Pancha kalpataruvesya, kripa sindhu vyavacha, patitanang pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namo.